Okay, so if you're a dog owner, you know there are certain sounds you just never want to hear. And a sudden, new, weird cough coming from your best friend, that's definitely high on the list. It can be pretty scary, but just understanding what you're dealing with is a huge first step to helping them feel a whole lot better.
You know the sound I'm talking about, right? It's not a normal cough. It's this deep, dry, hacking noise. It almost sounds like a goose honking, and sometimes it ends with a gag. It's the kind of sound that makes you stop everything and just go, whoa, what in the world was that?
And yep, this picture pretty much says it all. This is the classic symptom. This isn't some quiet little throat clearing. It is a forceful, unmistakable cough that sounds just as awful as it looks. If you've heard this sound coming from your dog, well, you are absolutely in the right place. All right, so let's get right into it. What exactly is this thing that has such a unique and, let's be honest, kind of freaky sound? We're going to break it all down. Okay, so the fancy pants name for it is canine infectious respiratory disease, or CIRD. But, literally everyone just calls it kennel cough. The easiest way to think about it is like the common cold for dogs, except it's way, way more contagious. It's basically an inflammation of their upper airways, and as you can guess from the name, it spreads like wildfire wherever dogs get together. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Kennel cough isn't caused by just one single thing. Nope. It's usually a cocktail of different germs, all having a party together. The main culprit, the most common bacteria, is Bordetella. That's what the vaccine mostly targets. But all these other viruses can get in on the action too, which helps explain why even a vaccinated dog can sometimes still get a milder case of it.
And, just to make things a little more complicated, vets are now seeing something they're calling atypical kennel cough. So your classic case is usually pretty mild and it's gone in a week or 3. But this atypical version, it can stick around for way longer and has a much bigger risk of turning into something serious. The big giveaway is that it often tests negative for all those usual suspects we just looked at. It's definitely something to keep in mind if your dog's cough just refuses to go away.
So, now that we have a better idea of what we're up against, let's talk about what you can do. The great news is, for most of the mild cases, you can provide a ton of comfort and relief for your pup right in your own home. Here are 3 super easy, vet-approved things you can try immediately. First, steam. Just run a hot shower, close the bathroom door, and let your dog hang out in there for a bit. It really helps soothe their throat. Second, a little bit of honey can work like a natural cough drop. And third, and this one's so important, rest. Just like for us, rest is one of the best medicines. That means dialing way back on the walks and playtime. And hey, you don't just have to take my word for it. As Dr. George Khalil says right here, these simple little things you can do at home can actually make a huge difference in how your dog feels. It's all about that supportive care. And here are a few more pro tips for you. Switching from a collar to a harness? Brilliant. It takes all that pressure off their sore throat. Also, keeping the air in your home clean and free from irritants like smoke is a big deal. And of course, keep that water bowl full. Hydration is key to fighting off any infection. Okay, listen up, because this is probably the most critical point of all, and I really can't say it enough. Please, please, never give your dog any of your own cough or cold medicine. So many of the ingredients in our over-the-counter stuff are literally toxic to dogs and can do serious, serious damage. Just stick to what your vet recommends. Home care is awesome for those mild cases, but it is so important to know when the situation is escalating. So let's go over the red flags, the signs that mean it's time to stop what you're doing and call the vet. These are the big ones. These are the signs that tell you your dog needs a doctor. If they feel really hot, if they're just completely wiped out and have no energy, if they won't eat, or if it looks like they're struggling to breathe. Don't wait. A simple case of kennel cough just shouldn't be causing these kinds of severe symptoms. And here's exactly why this is so important. Those red flags can be a sign that the infection has traveled down into their lungs and turned into pneumonia. And that is a much more serious condition. Getting them to the vet quickly can make all the difference in the world. Okay, deep breath. You've either seen the vet or you've been managing a mild case at home. So what's the recovery look like? And maybe more importantly, how can we try to prevent this whole mess from happening again? So for your typical healthy adult dog, you can pretty much expect that cough to hang around for about 1 to 3 weeks. With lots of rest and good care, they should bounce right back in that time frame. But, and this is a big but, you gotta adjust your expectations for the more vulnerable pups out there. For puppies with their little immune systems still under construction, for our sweet senior dogs, Or for any dog that already has other health issues, it can be a longer road. They might take up to 6 weeks to really get back to 100%. All right, now this is the fact that shocks most people. The contagious period. Get this. Even after your dog has completely stopped coughing and seems totally back to normal, they can still be contagious and spread the germs to other dogs for up to 2, sometimes even 3 months. That is a really crucial thing to know to stop it from spreading.
So how do we stop the cycle? Well, number 1 is vaccination. The Bordetella vaccine is a game changer, especially if your dog is a social butterfly at daycare, boarding, or the dog park. Number 2, be responsible with isolation. A good rule of thumb is to keep your sick dog away from other dogs for at least 2 weeks after their symptoms are totally gone. And number 3, good old-fashioned cleaning.
At the end of the day, knowing this stuff is power. Recognizing that signature honking cough, knowing how to make your dog comfortable at home, and understanding the red flags, it puts you in the driver's seat. Protecting your own pup really means you're protecting their entire community of furry friends. And now you have all the tools you need to do just that.